You want to be a VJ, but you're not sure where to start. I'm Sean Bose, concert visual designer in Los Angeles, California. Today, I'm going to tell you the 5 things that you need and give you some of my recommendations as a professional VJ so that you can start VJing with confidence. The first and probably most obvious thing that you need is a computer, specifically a powerful laptop. Most modern laptops will do the job, but there are a few key things you can pay attention to that will make sure that your machine can handle any gig that comes its way for years to come. First on the list is a modern graphics card that's capable of handling a couple of high-resolution outputs. You'll also need a ton of fast storage so that you can store and read large video files without delay. The other 2 things that help things run smoothly are a fast multi-core CPU and a ton of RAM. You'll also want to find a good balance between portability and cooling so that you don't break your back or melt your computer at your next festival gig. Manufacturers of computers and components are releasing new higher-end models of their products every single day, so it's really difficult to give very specific recommendations here. A general rule of thumb is to buy the highest spec item that you can afford, and if you use my list as a priority order, you should get good results. To get even more bang for your buck, remember that storage and RAM are easily upgradable a lot of the time. So you might be able to get a lower spec model that has the graphics card and CPU that you want and upgrade the memory and RAM for less money than the manufacturer would charge you for including it in the build. If you'd like more details or specific recommendations, I have more videos about computers here. The second thing you'll need is some sort of VJ software. This is a software that lets you choose clips, mix them together, add effects, and map your outputs to different screens. The one that I use and the most popular choice is Resolume, but there are a ton of options out there. Resolume has a great intuitive interface, powerful LED and projection mapping tools, and plenty of effects to play around with. Check out my playlist of tutorials for more about how to use Resolume to set up a great show. Once you have a computer and software, you're going to need some sort of control surface to operate it during a live show. You can use a mouse and keyboard, but the additional input options available on MIDI controllers are a much more fun and intuitive way to perform. There are a ton of different controller options with different configurations of buttons, knobs, and sliders. I recommend you get something that has a few of each, like an APC40 or a Launch Control XL. That way you have the variety to try things out until you get a better idea of the needs of your show and your performance style. Check out my reviews to learn more about different controller options and see what's right for you, and learn how to map them to the software with my Resolume tutorial series. Now that you have all of the essential gear set up, you're going to need some content. You can make some on your own, or there's a ton of free and paid VJ content out there for you to download. If you go to seanbose.com/learn2VJ, I'll send you my free VJ content guide, which has links to all of my favorite free and paid loops, as well as my free VJ loop sample pack. Once you have those 4 things, you're all set up to start mixing and practicing your VJ skills. But there's one last thing that you'll need before you can go out and play a gig, and that is your VJ kit. The most important part of a VJ kit is dongles. You'll want to make sure that you have dongles that make each of your outputs on your computer connect to any available output cable that you're provided at a gig. The most common one that you're going to run into is HDMI, so at the very least, make sure that you have a dongle that converts each of your output types to HDMI. For good measure, get a backup for each one of those as well. It's also a good idea to have a power strip, some gaff tape, a laptop stand, some extra USB cables for your controller, and a hardwired mouse. I have another video about all of the things that should be in a professional VJ kit and why, so be sure to check that out as well. Alright, so those are the 5 things that you need to get started as a VJ. A computer, some VJ software, a MIDI controller, content, and dongles. I hope this helped you get some more clarity and confidence in going out there and starting your path to being a VJ. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and be sure to like, subscribe, and come back later for more videos. Thanks for watching. Peace.